Okay.
Yeah, so
Have you
those are
have
like the
you
two main
spoken to
things.
anybody like since you left the pod? Since you've done those like two episodes or one episode, I forgot how many you did. But since you left, have you still connected with anybody from there? Like since you've left?
I mean, I'm cool with Ish. We don't talk often, but we were always cool because, his brand, we just talked about merch, but no one really.
That's cool. That's cool. Have you and Melissa like rehashed something? Maybe got back cool, or that's like clipped.
No, I haven't talked to Melissa since when she sent over the contract, and I was like, what is this? And then she said she was gonna send the right contract, and then she just never said anything else. I mean, she
Yeah.
said shit about me, but she never said anything directly to me, which, that's fine. I'm not mad at Melissa. I don't have any ill will towards her. I think maybe the situation could have been handled differently, but you know, every situation is a learning lesson and an opportunity to grow. I hope that she grew from that situation as I have.
Yeah, yeah. I hope you met like a lot of people and connections from that to help you further your success in what you're doing as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's
I'm
nice
saying.
to interact with people that are supportive and that you can feel like you can relate to. But I think like to a point where people would send me stuff that she would say, and the last thing that she said was she said I was like thirsty because I followed people on the pod, like that. I kind of got tired of it, and I just had to say, because you're lightweight bullying me. You're a black woman, I'm a black woman, we should support one another like in our culture. And I think it's very disappointing to me to see like on these feeds of social media where people comment. It's like everyone has something negative to say about what someone else is doing, but no one has anything positive to say.
Like
I mean,
you
even if I
brought me here not
was,
to network,
like,
not
even
to.
if I was, who cares? It's not
Yeah.
harming or hurting. I just think
Oh
that,
yeah.
like when they say hurt people, I never, I wanted to, it was an opportunity, and sometimes things just don't work out and you just keep going. I mean, I think
Yeah.
it's not easy putting yourself in a position where people have an opportunity to talk about you. And I've seen a lot of things that people have said about me about like in a negative way, but it's like you're commenting on, you don't even know me. It makes me feel sad that they feel compelled to just say negative things in general. Like you go on Twitter, you go online, and everyone has something negative to say or they're scrutinizing it. And it's like, look, we're a culture, all we're minorities, whatever we are. It's like we should support each other, not throw shade. I'm not saying anything negative about this person. In the beginning, yeah, I was pissed. I was fucking pissed because it took my time, my energy, my money, more importantly, my time to travel to New York, work on a project, and then for it to just implode because of her, I guess, ambitiousness to want to make something hers when we could have all still, it was a culmination of effort, and my intention was to share information with people and to share my story. Like I didn't want to, it's not easy sharing your personal business, but I wanted to do that to connect with people so people had a platform where they could be like, oh, like these three women are going through this and I'm not the only one. But I think she just viewed it as an opportunity to create something for herself instead of like focusing on like what the intention really should have been.
Whoa, what's good, people? It's your boy, The Kitchen. Now, what you just heard there was S go off on a latest space, Twitter space, to be specific, about her time with Melyssa Ford and how she feels about how she had been treated during, before, and after the whole podcast debacle. Now, if you guys don't know, Melyssa Ford, her podcast, Hot and Bothered, it was originally S's idea. She even traveled from LA, where she lives, to New York in order to pursue that. She spent money, she wasted her time in creating that pod, all for Melyssa Ford to snatch it from her, and now they're not cool anymore. Now, which is obviously understandable, because if you did that to me and you claim we are friends and then you go on to win a Gracie because of my idea, I'm going to feel some type of way also. I don't blame S in any type of way, but this just brings me to my bigger point, where a lot of people have had experiences with Melyssa Ford that haven't been the most positive. Now, there's many examples here. Like I said, there's S, where she felt some type of way. There's Rocky. If you guys don't know Rocky, she is from, well, she's a personality. She's from Love and Hip Hop also. That's where a lot of people know her from. She also does radio. But she said back in the day, when Melyssa Ford was Melyssa Ford, they would cross paths. And when they did, she would mention that she didn't really like her energy. She would say certain things. She would look at people a certain way. And you can just tell that the energy that she gives off wasn't really positive. But then again, I wanted to give her the benefit of the doubt, because I'm sure when celebrities meet their fans, they're not really the nicest, because they're probably just having a bad day. They're going through something. So you can't really be happy 24/7. So I kind of thought about that. Maybe they're just catching Melyssa Ford at the wrong times, because not everybody's first impression is positive. But then I heard Buffy the Body story, and this is what she said in this clip when she met Melyssa Ford.
Most of the video girls,
they must talk behind your back, man, and say she ain't that buff.
They did, but
she ain't that buff.
I was able to like overcome that. The only one and I'm not gonna say I had beef with her. She had beef with me. Was Melyssa Ford.
Melyssa Ford.
What was the issue?
It was when we did the 5th anniversary issue for King magazine, when all us was on the cover. It was like 5 covers.
Okay. Oh, I remember that. Yeah, I remember that.
When I got to LA to do the shoot, she didn't know that I was the 5th girl. So when I got there, her whole attitude changed. She never spoke to me. She was walking around the shoot slamming doors and just acting real ugly.
Why?
So when all us sat on the sofa for the group shot, she got up.
How did you all fit on the sofa, man?
It was like a long sofa.
Oh, okay.
It was like
extended,
3 girls with 1 girl laying on the back. It was once in. She got up and left because she didn't want me in the shoot. I've never done, that was my first time ever meeting her.
Yeah.
Never done anything to her, never said anything bad. She was one of the video girls I looked up to when I got in the industry.
So what's the problem?
She treated me like...
Is it just like your back is buffer than hers, or...
I don't know, you know what? And I don't understand, because to me she was at the top of her game.
Yeah.
And so for me, I'm like, for her to be intimidated by me, I'm like, come on, Melyssa, this can't. So when the issue came out and they interviewed me for it, I talked about it.
Yeah.
I'm sure she didn't like it. And then, the people at King magazine was telling me, come on, let's mend this. Y'all need to shake hands. I'm like, no, because she act crazy. So if it's going to be beef, let the beef continue.
Would you fight her? Because I think that
the
would be
only reason I didn't act up.
You should, we get in a ring, you should pay-per-view. This can work. Some bikinis on, some mud made.
The only reason I didn't act up. The only reason I didn't act up at that video shoot, because I've always wanted a cover of King magazine, and I know if I had put my hands on her, it would have been over.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you know what? It ain't even worth it.
In the name of the Lord, you shouldn't have done that anyway. That's good.
And it is not just those 3 women that feel that way, because a few weeks ago, actually, Mark Lamont Hill would bring up that some of his associates and or friends feel some type of way whenever Melyssa Ford's name is brought up. So Mark actually then confronted her live on the pod, and if you guys didn't hear that, here it is.
I won't ask anymore, but I'll just offer my own analysis of it. Is I think that maybe you're jaded from your experiences. And so I think there's a guardedness that you have that people experience as something else. And I'll give you an example of this. So like when I tell people I know you, especially now that I work here, a lot of women who I know in the business or who have engaged, like, is she cool? Yeah, Mel's cool as shit. Really? Because when I met her, blah, 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 if they don't say like you were nasty or you talk shit to them or nothing, like, it's not that. That's what I'm saying. It's not, and it's not jealousy or hating, because you may be up in a way that they're not and never will be. It's not that.
But they do have their stories.
Their stories. And I'm saying, I think it's...
Stories like what?
Just what I think people experience a coldness sometimes from you that I think, just hear me out, that I think is not you being a bad. I don't think it's. I think you've been burned before, and I think you've had people who have mistreated you and done things like that, and so I think you're guarded. I think you're, and I don't think that's a bad thing. And I think people misunderstand that.
So how am I any different from any other interaction that people have had with other people? That, like, how many stories do we hear where somebody's like, oh, I was such a fan or an admirer of this person, and they didn't get the reaction that they hoped to get on that particular day?
Yeah, I'm not saying it's fair, but it
isn't fair, because when people come up to me, like, I am extremely fucking affable and friendly and all that shit. If you catch me on a day where some fucked up shit happened or I'm just not okay, then I'm sorry you did not get the version of me that you hoped you were going to get. But I don't.
Sometimes people project that onto you, though.
I don't owe that to anybody.
So how do you guys feel about this? Do you guys feel that Melyssa really needs to be hit with some home truths and really needs to just put that mirror up and really just look at her own reflection and take accountability with how she's treated people over the span of her career, whether it was intentional or not? Or could this be a possibility that they're probably just lying? All of these people are lying about Melyssa Ford, and she's really an angel in real life. But like I said, let me know how you guys feel in the comments. And until next time, it's your boy The Kitchen. Deuces.